Hey everybody, it's Chris with Life 180 and welcome back to the And Asset Book Review, and we are in Chapter 4, The Power of Compounding Interest. We are heading into Section 2 of the book, Chapter 4, and so listen, this is a pretty simple one. Compounding interest, I don't think anybody is needing to be convinced that compounding interest is an extremely powerful thing when you can implement it and achieve it in your life. The question is, what's the most effective and efficient way to achieve compounding interest working for you? Now, I think it really comes down to the concepts of wealth transfers and understanding that when you spend a dollar, not only are you spending that dollar, but you're also losing the opportunity cost, and you're spending every dollar that dollar could have earned for you for the rest of your life, right? So you're interrupting compounding. There's the concepts of elements in your life that are interrupting compounding, like losses and taxes and anything that you do that is ultimately going to take the ability for your money to grow uninterruptedly away from you, right? And so the number one thing that we talk about is wealth transfers, spending money. We talk about risk and loss in the markets. We talk about taxes and those sorts of things. And really, I think what happens is the idea of compounding, you have this kind of hockey stick effect, right? Where it's you have to put in your time, so to speak, for it to be able to kind of kick in and for it to take effect. But and most people aren't patient enough for that. And one of the things that I love about leveraging the and asset is the fact that you're really operating inside of a financial system, because that's what the and asset does. Yes, it's a product, right? But ultimately, it's a system in which every decision that you make around your financial world goes through this system. Every major capital purchase you make, it allows you to make better financial decisions, and it forces you to take a more active and engaged approach when it comes to a financial strategy. So for entrepreneurs, for real estate investors, for traders, anybody like that, it's absolutely essential. But even for people who are 9-to-5, W-2 type employees, working for a company, getting a steady paycheck. Listen, we all are spending money. We all have inefficiencies. And I'm a big believer that people are unfortunately saving way too little and risking way too much by investing before they have enough saved, right? So one of the biggest lies that I think is told in the financial space is that the younger you are, the more risk you can take. Well, I'm here to tell you that the younger you are, the less risk you have to take, because you have more time on your side. All you need for compounding to take effect is time and consistency, right? Like if you solid contributions over a consistent period and give it time to be able to work, and you're gonna win, right? So that's the power of a properly structured and asset, is that you can start young, you can allow things to work for you, you have access, liquidity, use, and control of your money. You're never at risk of loss of that money. It's like a forced savings plan. And when you do that, rather than investing money in your stock market, listen, I did a video called the Life 180 Pyramid Talk, and if you just YouTube search Life 180 Pyramid, then you can check it out. So I will go check that video out. It's right there. You can take a look at it. Go check it out, because that's going to explain to you the idea and the biggest mistakes that people are making in their life, and the financial structure that most Americans are living by that is costing them the opportunity to be able to take advantage of compounding interest in their life, right? So that's the biggest thing. Like when it comes down to it, how you plan for taxes, how you plan for major capital purchases like your home and your cars and even vacations and stuff like that. There are different philosophies, different strategies that go into this, and how deep down the rabbit hole you go with this really depends on you and how you want to kind of live your life. But let me just kind of go through here really quick. I want to just make sure, I'm just kind of trying to rip this off a little bit, and I don't want to get into the nitty gritty detail of the book, because Caleb talks about some really, really good stuff in here. But at the end of the day, you know what? It's the idea of earning compounding versus paying it is really important, right? The idea that if you're either earning interest or you're paying it, right? And so that's the opportunity cost. That's why the concept where I just talked about in the last video of what's the most effective way to buy a house, right? A lot of people think paying cash. Well, no. When you pay cash, there are a lot of reasons it's bad, but you're also tying up capital. You're not allowing that capital to work for you. And so it's not going to be compounding for you. So if you save and you have enough money in a liquid account that's guaranteed to earn more than you're paying for your interest, right? Which right now, at the time I'm filming this video, you can get a 3% mortgage pretty easy, 3.2, 3.3%. And you can get a guarantee of 4% in a whole life policy with an internal rate of return that's going to be higher on a guaranteed basis than your mortgage rate. And the mortgage rate, you're going to have all sorts of benefits that come along with it. So like, it makes no sense to put money in that account, right? Or to put money in your house when you can have it saved, earning more and compounding for you when you have an amortized loan where your expenses get less and less and less. So listen, the power of compounding, like I said, nobody needs to be convinced of that. But at the end of the day, when you create a system and you have liquidity, use and control of that, I've done videos that you should go check out on the YouTube channel about how to buy real estate with whole life insurance that allows you to really implement the compounding effect, right? Because you can access money from your whole life policy, put it into real estate, right? Borrow against your policy, put it into real estate, use the cash flow from a real estate investment, pay back the loan from your policy. All the while, the money never stops growing. It never stops compounding inside the policy, right? So the beautiful thing is that you're paying simple interest in the policy. So if you have a $100,000 loan and it's at 5%, it's a $5,000 expense, right? Hypothetically speaking, let's say it's earning $5,000 or 5%. So $100,000 the first year, it's $5,000 earned. So let's say you pay that $5,000 interest only payment, right? So what's going to happen? You got $105,000 now, and you of account value, you pay the $5,000 expense. So now you still have a $100,000 loan. You can pay more if you want, but you could also pay just interest only. But now your money's earning 5% on $105,000, and you're still only paying the interest on the $100,000, right? And so it keeps compounding, and you can create some arbitrage in that scenario. And that's just an example. It doesn't work that cleanly in every situation, but ultimately those are some of the principles that you need to understand. A lot of people think that you can't have enough liquidity in a whole life policy in an and asset at the beginning. I'm a big believer that a whole life policy should be a foundational component, like a tier 1 asset in your financial life, just like a bank. Just like banks use bank-owned life insurance to be tier 1 assets that they can loan against, that they can create extra capital and operating opportunity inside of their businesses. I think you need to look at it the same way. You can structure a whole life policy. Like I was just talking to a guy today, talking about a $20,000 dump in and a $10,000 a year policy, right? And out of the $20,000, his first year of the policy, like $17,000 was completely liquid, right? And he picked up a $1.5 million of death benefit. Like, think about that. Like, you could pick up permanent insurance, $1.5 million of permanent insurance, only give up $3,000 ultimately of liquidity, and then you have a $10,000 annual premium that basically almost all of it goes into increasing your cash value every year after that. So it's super leverage, it's super powerful. You should check it out. If you have any questions, I can get you in touch with somebody. We can run some illustrations for you. We can get it done. I'm gonna do a lot of videos here coming up on illustrations about the power of the and asset and really running examples for different illustrations, because I think it's super important that people see it and understand it. And so anyway, I hope that helps. Definitely, if you haven't already, you gotta go get this book. Let's see if I have it right. Gotta go get this book. I'm gonna have a link down below. You could check it out. Go get the book. I'll have the link below. And if you have any questions, leave a comment. Happy to engage. Have a blessed, inspirational day. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, click the bell. That way you get notified every single time I launch a new video. Look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care. See ya.